Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, the only show on Indian television where you, the MSME, get center stage. This is ET Now, special daily initiative to give MSMEs and entrepreneurs the opportunity to be front and center on every industry and area that matters to you. Tonight on the show, on Influencer, we're bringing you a conversation with RackBank, and later on the show, now, while the cloud is the MSME's best friend, information about how the cloud can be leveraged by small businesses, helping them save costs and yet be able to use their tech solutions seamlessly. To break down the benefits of cloud and data centers for small businesses, my colleague Pooja Jain spoke with Indore-based RackBank Datacenters to bring our MSME viewers some valuable tips on using the cloud. Take a listen.
It's no secret that there's a severe shortage of reliable data centers in India. Given the low cost of operating business, why are we such a laggard when it comes to server hosting infrastructure?
First, we need to understand that what it requires to set up a good data center, which is scalable and affordable. And so we covered the good data center definition as a 5 Ps: power, pipe, and pedigree, peoples, and policies. We need to cover all these aspects to set up a good data center. In India, we saw that the power is not stable. So if we talk about the Western countries like America, so the power is like, if they went with the power 1 hour, it will be news and media. Here, it's like general, So we need to have a stable power. Earlier, it was not there in ecosystem. But now we have stable power in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. So now we thought like, yes, this is the right time to get into it and build a data center.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Why the decision to build a premium data center in the heart of Madhya Pradesh? And have customers expressed perhaps an initial hesitance with trusting a company in a tier 3 city with their data storage needs?
I will tell you one small story how I started this. So when 2006 I started, in my school time, I started domain and hosting business. We used to buy hosting in US based server. Like in the night, we bought and we'll take the customer support, and we experienced a lot of challenges. Although the service and everything is stable there, and like 80% data center needs outsourced earlier. They don't put in India because we didn't have stable infrastructure. So I decided, okay, we got a good customer base, like more than 3,000 customers I had in my school time, and I'm getting good money. So I dropped out, and then I decided, why not build data center? I read some articles that India is worst place to set up a data center. Like, oh, this is wrong because we have a huge demand coming up. We have that much, like 1.2 billion population, and this is going to be consume a lot of internet, a lot of data. So we should have a data center. So I started like, okay, I was not aware that time that required a lot of money to invest because it's a capital intensive business. I approached the state government. I told them, okay, I wanted to build this data center. I need this power and fiber connected to our data center location. And they are pretty proactive. They like the idea, and they said, okay, we can offer you, because this is like data centers. I told them data center is going to be an industry, and you will get a data tax for 20 years. That is a benefit for you. I explain all the benefits which government can think of, and this is good for our state as well.
RackBank currently serves clients across 120 countries, but how does the solution specifically benefit Indian business?
So RackBank, we founded this, we started this data center for Indians, for serving Indian demand. We didn't had good infrastructure earlier. So this is for India. In India, demand is growing. It's like 300% growth year in year when we talk about the data consumption. Our population is 400 million right now online, and within 5 years we'll see that this demand will be doubled. So imagine that how many users you can see, and thinking of in mind that customers are like earlier, they create their own facility in house, the data center, and data center required all the basic, whether you create a small or big. You need to have two power source connectivity, you have a multiple telcos at your data center location, you have to have good skill set which are going to maintain your data center, and that required a lot of money. We decided, look, we need to change this. So initially people outsource their small demand with us, and gradually they move their entire infrastructure from in-premises to outsource. And after doing this, they end up with saving 75% cost.
We understand that RackBank has scaled from a 10,000 square foot facility to now a 35,000 square foot facility. But what does that mean in terms of server capacity, network uptime, and other statistics that customers care most about?
Yeah, uptime is crucial. Like their basic demand is we need a good uptime. And at RackBank, we know the feeling of downtime, because we faced in our early days. So how to avoid this? So we are able to achieve 99.99% uptime, and giving a good support to our customer 24/7 round the clock. We have an expert team with us and certified team with all the technology expertise which we have. So our team is best fit. I can give a credit to my customers, because every time customer will come up with a new demand, okay, we want a disaster recovery, we want data center as a service, we want a hardware, can you provide hardware? Then we started, okay, you don't need to buy hardware, we'll give you hardware, and you go pay as you go. And then suddenly, okay, are you offering a cloud services? And so then we figured it out, okay, cloud is like now the need of ours. Then we decided, okay, let's figure it out. Let's offer cloud services.
As you mentioned, this is a capital-intensive business, on top of which the data center space is not considered to be particularly eco-friendly. So where does going green fit on your priority list?
We are the only provider in India who is connected with solar. We are keeping in mind the always like green and innovative solution to optimize, because adopting green will save our customer costs as well. In India, solar, after the solar policy, it helps us as industries like us to reduce the cost. We reduce solar is 30% cheaper than grid. In MP, the solar cost is cheapest in India. So we are taking this as an advantage, and we are helping our customers to take the ride on the green energy.
How has consumer behavior changed in this space, and how have consumer expectations evolved with it?
Customer behavior depend on their consumption need. So consumption grown in multifold in past 4 years. We see that initially customers started with 3 kilowatt of rack. Now they grown with 20 kilowatt of rack. The same customer, now demand is changing every time, because the consumption of data is changing rapidly, and the internet penetration in India is growing, tier 3, tier 4 city level, tier 4 village level, and that is driving the demand for Indian ecosystem. Apart from this, Digital India, we talk about the smart cities, we talk about the government driven GST. Now every businessman, small or large or startup, everyone need data center.
Speaking of how consumer behavior has evolved, what are some of the most formidable challenges that you've faced in creating a data center solution that's not just cost effective and comprehensive, but ultimately one that can compete with global counterparts?
Initially, we faced a lot of challenges as another companies faced, like fund and other aspect, like initially fund and then getting customer on board.
Now, talking about Indore's data center park project, it's certainly an ambitious one. What role has government played in its execution?
Yeah, government role, as I told you, the government role is very crucial in this, because government has to drive it. as Digital India and all these government initiatives need a stable data centers. Even government need a stable data center. So even government needs to build, because data is growing, like I explained already. So we need a stable, scalable data centers. And I approached government, okay, we need to do this data center park. And they told me, are you not inviting your competition? If you are doing the data center park, then you are inviting your competition. I said, it's not a competition, it's an opportunity for our state. And it is going to be a win-win situation for everyone in this ecosystem, because it's a clustering. When we do clustering anywhere in the ecosystem, that will reduce cost, lot of cost, and we did it.